Hi, everyone. Welcome to this Lunch and Learn session brought to you by Fresh Relevance and Trustpilot. Um, Today, we're going to be talking about conversion rate strategies for your e-commerce business. I'm going to get my screen up. Here we go. So I'm Camilla. I'm the content marketing manager at Fresh Relevance. My job involves a lot of researching and writing about e-commerce and tactics to help e-commerce leaders. And I'm joined today by Christy Fast, who is the Senior Partner Manager at Trustpilot. So first of all, just a quick bit about who we are. Fresh Relevance is a versatile decision and personalization platform for commerce-driven businesses. The platform gives you the power to maximize customer experience, conversion, and loyalty. It offers an incredibly wide range of personalization tools and integrates with all of the elements of your existing tech stack. It also tests and automates decisions for you so that you know that the right content is always going to be put in front of the right customer. The platform gathers data wherever your customers go, and then it brings it all together in one place with existing data, showing real-time behavior and insight combined with the power to act on it. Our product features include cross-channel personalization, dynamic images, product recommendations, data capture popovers, triggered emails, geotargeting, and the list goes on and on. Ultimately, we help digital marketers achieve their goal of boosting customer loyalty and revenue by creating an optimized journey across all channels and devices. And on average, our customers actually see 25% of their online sales influenced by Fresh Relevance. So on to the good stuff. Perhaps you're generating web traffic through ads that you've really carefully crafted, or maybe you're doing all your SEO hours and you've turned your website into an amazing visitor magnet. But whichever way you're driving traffic, we all know that the work doesn't stop there. So a good e-commerce site doesn't just attract visitors, it moves them down the funnel to the point of conversion. And in today's crowded digital landscape, competition is so fierce, and keeping a new visitor's attention is becoming increasingly vital. So once you've attracted visitors to your site, how can you reduce bounce rate and friction in order to produce more conversions? Well, this is where conversion rate optimization comes in. So what is conversion rate optimization? It's the process of optimizing a website or landing page to turn more visitors into customers. It's all about digging deep into your customer journey, ironing out all those creases, and enhancing the experience until you're left with a lovely, frictionless customer journey that's tailored to each individual. It's an ongoing process, definitely, ongoing process of learning, but if you put the time in, you'll soon be reaping the rewards of a higher conversion rate. So today we're going to be covering triggered emails, product recommendations, countdown timers, and data capture. And I'm going to be including some real life examples of all of these things. And then Christy is going to be covering how to display online reviews to boost trust, user-generated content to drive sales, and how to review your customer reviews. So let's get started with triggered emails. Triggered emails are really key to a lot of online brands and retailers, especially when it comes to delivering helpful marketing that keeps customers engaged and drives shoppers to convert or complete a purchase. But what are triggered emails exactly? So they're emails that are triggered by an individual's activity. For example, when a shopper abandons a cart, which is the classic example. And this is why the content is likely to be very topical and timely. Ultimately, it's a great way for your business to deliver personalized, real-time content to shoppers at the very moment that they're most likely to convert. So I'm going to talk through two types of triggered emails here that you could be using to increase your conversion rate, starting with cart abandonment emails. These types of emails are triggered when a shopper leaves something in their shopping cart without completing their purchase. So some shoppers might have got distracted. Maybe the doorbell started ringing, or they had to attend to their crying baby. Or other shoppers might have just needed more time to think about the purchase, especially if it's a high stake, expensive item. So a timely cart abandonment email can be a really effective way to gently nudge those shoppers and bring them back to your site. So this is a really nice example from Jewelry Box that takes a lot of the cart abandonment best practices. They've recreated the shopping cart here with product images and details of the items to jog the shopper's memory. They've also included social proof in the form of star ratings to boost the shopper's confidence in the products. And they've added product recommendations at the bottom, which helps showcase a wider range of their inventory and also helps the shopper find the perfect product for them. Jewelry Box actually saw a 25% increase in cart abandonment revenue year on year with Fresh Relevance cart abandonment emails like this one. So back in stock alerts. These type of triggered emails target shoppers who have browsed an out of stock product, which is now back in stock. Shoppers' browse data is used to trigger this email once the product has been restocked. And these types of emails are such a great way to turn a potentially frustrating customer experience around and bring the customer back to your site. Recent research that we did into consumers' brand switching habits actually found that almost 1 in 3 consumers said that they've switched brands in the past because their favorite product was out of stock. So triggering these types of emails can be a really effective way to avoid this. Here's an example of a back in stock email from Wex Photo Video that again shows best practices like including a clear header to make it obvious why the recipient's receiving this email, and also product imagery to remind them of the item that they were interested in. They also use urgency messaging. So they say, hurry, we may run out soon, to entice shoppers to make the purchase quickly. And finally, the star ratings that they've included help boost the shopper's trust in the product. So next up, we're going to talk about product recommendations. And this is a tactic as old as retail itself. So shop assistants have been recommending products to in-store shoppers for a long time, and that's translated really nicely over into e-commerce marketing. And there are so many different types of product recommendations that you can use. So let's dig into a couple of options to get you started. So for potential customers visiting your e-commerce website where you don't have any past or behavioral data to go by, you can show them trending products and bestsellers. Because without the ability to try on or touch products in the flesh, customers are much more likely to be swayed by other shoppers' opinions. You can also recommend new arrivals as well. So that's playing to our inbuilt expectation that something new must be better than what came before. This is a really nice example from the Look Fabulous Forever homepage, where they show bestsellers along with an extra boost of social proof in the form of star ratings. So for returning web visitors and existing customers, you can harness the power of familiarity and suggest products that this shopper has browsed or purchased frequently to encourage them to make another purchase. In this example, Cooks and Gold highlights recently browsed items at the bottom of their product pages, which enables them to present products that are likely to be of specific interest to the customer. So you can see that at the bottom of the page there. And they've actually seen a whopping 112% year-on-year sales uplift with on-site product recommendations like this. So this is definitely a tactic worth trying. Countdown timers. Countdown timers are a really nice, easy way to generate a buzz around your products and increase conversions. Dynamic countdown timers that update in real time across your website and email channels are the most effective. So you can use countdown timers to draw attention to sale deadlines and next day delivery cutoff dates, or to highlight your opening hours, generate excitement around a new product launch, amongst other things. So here's an example from Jewelry Box. They have a dynamic countdown timer on their product pages to highlight the same day shipping deadline, which helps to increase urgency and decrease click to purchase rate as customers know that they have a limited amount of time to get their order in if they want to get it quickly. Our research actually found that more than 1 in 4 consumers want retailers to highlight important cutoff deadlines. So this is a really good example of that. Since implementing this countdown timer, Jewelry Box have seen a 5% increase in conversion rates in the 2 hours prior to the same day shipping cutoff. So this is really effective for them. And yeah, you can just see it counting down there. Data capture. So in order to truly understand your visitors and provide them with a nice tailored customer journey, you need to capture their data as soon as possible. And data capture popovers are a really effective way to do this. If you're unfamiliar with the term, a popover is basically the pop-up's better behaved cousin. They're not at all intrusive like those original pop-ups used to be, and they often take the form of overlays that make up part of the web page. You can normally dismiss them by clicking elsewhere on the screen, and they're most effective when they're related to a visitor's interests and behavior on your website. When a new visitor comes to your website, you can try presenting them with a popover that offers a discount on their first order when they sign up to the mailing list. This serves two purposes. The visitor identifies themselves with their email, and they're more likely to make a purchase with their discount. It's really important to be mindful of timing here and give shoppers enough time to browse your website first. This is an example from LSE Retail. They implemented these Black Friday popovers aimed at new visitors on their Iconic Lights and Value Lights websites to capitalize in the increase in traffic around this busy shopping period. And they saw new visitor sign up increase by 75% over the 2 months the popover was displayed. So it worked really well for them. And now I'm going to pass over to Christy, who's going to talk to us about reviews and user-generated content. So over to you, Christy.
Thanks, Camilla. Displaying online reviews to boost trust. So trust is broken, and you don't need me to remind you that with times as they are, trust is harder than ever to earn and come by. There's fake news everywhere you go, politicians breaking promises, brands getting called out for unethical behaviour. So it will be of little surprise that 81% of consumers refuse to do business with a brand they find untrustworthy. So what do consumers trust and how? Trustpilot recently joined up with London Research to find out exactly where consumers go for information when they're looking to buy a product or service. Which information sources do they actually trust? We found that word of mouth effectively tops the table, albeit in digital form. These are both forms of user-generated content. Consumers want to know that you're going to deliver on your promises, and who better to assure them of that than those who have experienced the same brand, product, or service? So what does that mean for businesses? We've conducted some research around the value of trustworthy brands and found that customers care more about brand reputation than they ever have done before. They're primarily influenced by information that they find online and are more likely to trust brands with an active, modern online presence, transparent approach to feedback, and willingness to share their brand's mission. On the other hand, brands are quickly going to lose trust with customers when they are silent, secretive, and presenting an outdated online presence. Customers want to be able to search for and find information about a brand online, and they lose trust in brands that have outdated websites, unsecure websites, or no online reviews whatsoever. Now we're going to look at using UGC to drive online sales. So let's get all on the same page about user-generated content and what it is. Essentially, it's a fancy way of saying anything that customers have created that relates to your brand, service, or product. The key is that it's created by people rather than brands. Just reflecting on that definition, I'd like you to ask yourself whether you have any user-generated content within your business. I'd imagine the chances are you probably do, and you probably have more UGC than you realise, and you may have not even realise how much you can actually be doing with it. You can never have too much engagement, and it can be tricky to track and measure. M2, an Australian tech agency, conducted some research and found that websites with UGC can see up to a 20% increase in return visitors and up to a 90% increase in time spent on site. And if you're looking to engage on social UGC posts, a 28% higher engagement rate than your actual brand posts. So let's take a look at some examples of businesses doing UGC well. Talk about the holy grail here. UGC here of Apple, showing you how it's done. No need to spend time on or money on creating artwork. They use their budget for above-line advertising using photos taken by real customers, as you can see here. This was especially clever as at the time it actually addressed concerns about the camera quality on the iPhone 5. And also, we all know it's not really Christmas until you see the Coca-Cola advert. There's only so much you can actually say about a fizzy drink, so they've widely used UGC for instant social media content whilst also engaging with their fans. And finally, we have Airbnb, a great example of a business utilising UGC to help lower marketing spend. Their entire Instagram feed is made from images taken by their customers and hosts, which allows the business to showcase the amazing locations and homes they have to offer. Brand advocacy. This allows Airbnb to tell their brand story and showcase the product offering at no extra cost. Reviewing the reviews. So, how to respond to negative reviews. Or if you don't mind going back a couple of slides.
Oh, sorry. Too keen.
Yeah.
Is that good?
One more, please.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Perfect. Yeah, so we're going to have a look at reviewing the reviews. And essentially, we're going to have a look at how to respond to a negative review. There are numerous ways to do this. Almost 26% of consumers can see responding to reviews as an important part of business activity. You'll have to start looking at this activity as a way to build a meaningful relationship with your customers and critics. You have to actively participate while conversations around negative reviews are going on. Just try and get an understanding of the situation and answer every question that comes your way. Ignoring a bad review is the worst thing you can possibly do. There's a lot of passion that runs when you start your business, but it shouldn't make you egocentric. You cannot expect to have the authority and the established brand as your business grows, no matter how great your product or service is. People take their time to trust you and your company, and it's never only about the product. Start by being absolutely objective, set aside your pride, and address the customer issues with utmost humility. Customers can be threatening at times. They'll try to project their authority, frustrations, and criticism on you. In such cases, it's important to react with your brain and not with your heart. Be honest. Might sound cliche, but it works. For whatever reason, you can't meet customer expectations. Give them the real picture. Understand what the problem is and give a plausible solution. It might not be what your customers want to hear, but eventually they'll respect you for telling the truth. Naturally, you might be worried about collecting reviews or UGC in case they're negative. In actual fact, 68% of customers trust reviews when they see both good ones and bad ones. But in today's competitive market, most businesses acknowledge the importance of reputation management and customer feedback. 92% of customers admit reading reviews as part of their purchasing decision, and 85% of shoppers trust reviews as a personal recommendation. Other people's feedback can help shoppers decide whether they want to engage with the brand they're researching, and reviews serve as a guide to help customers make better, more informed choices. Yeah, so just going back over this one. So yeah, essentially just make sure you don't ignore your customer's negative experience, keep your ego out of it, apologize, and provide a solution, and don't compromise on what you can deliver. Perfect. So to better understand what thousands of customers are thinking and saying, Stay Short, a travel insurance company catering to travelers age 50 plus, took an innovative approach in solving their customers' problems. They combined internal innovation workshops with data taken from our AI tool, Review Insights, that identifies topics and customer sentiment in each review. Stayshore's innovation workshop delivered positive results by involving different teams and generating a plethora of ideas for solving business problems. The team is pulling data-driven reports from Trustpilot's new tool to identify the most common customer complaints, then prioritizing the solutions. Armed with this information, they can make changes to their website banners, terms and conditions, and clarify how discount can be used, resulting in more clarity and satisfaction for the customers. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much, Christy. That was really interesting. Yeah, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Let's bring us back. Cool. Yeah, thank you so much for that. So we still have a little bit of time left, so we can answer a couple of questions. And then any other questions that we can't answer now, we can maybe like hop on the chat and answer them afterwards, or yeah, we'll try and find a way to answer them for you. So yeah, I can see that we have a question asking where to start with these conversion rate tactics discussed. So yeah, thank you for that. And I would say that it really depends on what you're experiencing as a business and what are your business goals. So for example, if you're seeing a lot of like a high rate of cart abandonment, for example, then it makes sense to start with tactics such as cart abandonment emails. Or if you're really struggling to bulk out your database, then data capture popovers would be a really great place to start. And then once you do have your tactics implemented, it's really important to keep testing and optimizing to make sure that you're serving the best content as possible. Cool. I don't think, I think we're actually running out of time now. So I think we're going to have to wrap it up. And as I said, we'll try to answer any other questions like via email. We're going to share our email details again. Let me get those back up.
Perfect.
Cool. Yes, so there you go. So if you did want to get back in touch with us, please feel free to reach out to us via email. I think you can also find us, you can find me on LinkedIn, and I'm sure that you can find Christy on LinkedIn as well. So thank you very much for joining us today. And if you did want to learn more about conversion rate optimization, we have this lovely lookbook, which gives 21 real life examples of different brands who have optimized their conversion rate with different tactics. You can find that at the link there. So thank you very much.
Thanks.